And welcome back, everybody. In this video, I'm going to show you how to clean a very neglected, almost horrendous wheel with the Adams Polishes wheel cleaner and a few of the Adams brushes, as well as a few others that I have laying around, that I use on a daily basis. Now, Adams Polishes did send me these products and tools for free, but they're not paying me to do anything. They wanted some feedback. Here's my feedback, but in video form. So I will show you how to clean the wheel face, the inner barrels, and the tires using the wheel cleaner, seeing if it does an effective job or not. And this is a great use case because, this is just a pretty bad wheel that needs some heavy attention. So if you're interested in the links to the tools and products, check that in the description box down below. And if you're looking to start your detailing business, check for some free guides down below as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We have the ugly, neglected wheel right here. I'm using Adams wheel cleaner, and here the instructions are basically common sense, where if there's any mud or dirt, spray the wheel down to loosen up any of that debris there. You want to work one wheel at a time. You don't want to spread yourself too thin between 2-3 wheels. You never want to let this dry on any surface, and this goes across any chemical that you're using. You don't want to let it dry on anything, on any surface that you're cleaning. Once it turns purple, because this is the iron remover that reacts to the metal particle, so once it starts to turn purple, you start to agitate and then fully rinse off. Again, you don't want to let this cleaner and any cleaner at that dry on the surface. So just to see what happens, I'm going to clean the wheel, obviously, and also the tires with just this product here. Now, just across the board, at least from my experience, any type of iron remover, it's gonna smell pretty harsh. Like, it's not gonna be a pleasant smell, so you want to be in a well ventilated area. And actually what I'm gonna do, I just thought about this, I'm gonna just do half the wheel and tire, just to see what we get here. So I'm gonna spray the tire down, and then I'm gonna spray in the inner wheel barrels. And of course, on the instruction it says spray liberally, meaning a lot, but if you want to make this last, you don't gotta go too overboard. So I'm gonna just spray that much right there, and let's see what happens. And I just thought it's gonna get a little bit here. And as you can see, the wheel's already turning purple, so that means it's already reacting to the brake dust particles. And now we can go ahead and start agitating. Now, if you're in direct sunlight, this might be a bit more tricky with you. You don't want to let there and just let it dry, because again, the wheel's gonna get hot. It's hot outside, things are gonna dry faster. So if you're working in a hot environment, you have to get to the agitation and the rinsing part faster than in this scenario where we're in a very cool environment. There's no heat, and I can pretty much let it sit there for a good while before I have to start agitating and rinsing. Okay, so now we're giving it about, let's say, a minute to really do the work here. I have another Adams brush here. I'm just gonna get it a little wet to help me with the agitation. And for the inner wheel barrels, I will be using Adams wheel willy, whatever you call this. Now, personally, I'm just not a fan of these types of, I don't even use the wheel willies that I have, and I have the full 3-pack. So I'll probably switch over and use the Easy Detail brush. And to agitate the tires, I'm using this brush from Jay Leno's Garage. I had the Tough Shine tire brush as well, but I'm just testing this one out, so I'll be using that one. So let's go ahead and start off with the inner wheel barrels, actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this down, just to help me with the agitation. Let me work it in here. Now, luckily with this wheel, it has enough clearance, and since it's a 16-inch wheel, this is plenty enough to actually get to the very back of the wheel barrel. If this was a bigger size wheel, like let's say like a Range Rover or some sort, it probably wouldn't reach. And this is really good for, so this already comes bent. I guess you can't manipulate the angle of it. So this is, in my opinion, best for just right behind the spokes of the wheel, like this. If you're trying to get all the way into the wheelbarrow, I would just suggest you use a wheel willy or an Easy or Speed Daytona Speed brush, just because the angle of it is kind of funny trying to get all the way in there. But it's possible. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm doing it right now. Like, I'm getting mostly everything. I'll go ahead and rinse this down. So I'll just keep on doing this just to show you guys that, yeah, I mean, you can still just do everything with this. And if I need to touch anything up, that's when I use the Easy Detail brush. Okay, so now let me switch over to the Adams brush here. Just get it lightly wet. And with this one, it really, the bristles really kind of fling back the product to you, so that's something to pay attention to. I do prefer these bigger brushes though. I do not like using just those small brushes to cover the entire wheel. That just takes way too long. So I really do prefer these bigger brushes to cover a lot more real estate. And yeah, it is flinging a lot of the product back to me. All right, and now I'm gonna get the tire. And I am actually liking this brush. My favorite one was the Tough Shine tire brush. I'm trying this one out and I'm getting similar results. It's a little bit more ergonomically made, I guess, whatever the word is, but I am liking this brush. So let me go ahead and just agitate this. And you can see it's turning purple as well here. That's no surprise. Let me just go ahead and agitate this. Alright, so now we have the tires done, we have the inner barrel done, we have the wheel done, at least on the right hand side. So now let me rinse everything down and inspect the results. And make sure you want to angle the hose up to get the entire inner barrel. Let me push out of that. So these are the initial results. My opinion is that it worked absolutely great. Granted, this is a smaller wheel, so it is easier because it's just not as much to play with in here because it's a smaller size wheel. But overall, it did do a great job. I have to wait for this to dry a little bit, but I have to wait for the tires to dry. But I'm sure, it's gonna be a better result than just the original condition that they were in. Now, although it is looking great, also please keep in mind that it does depend on the wheel that you're working on. Just the other day, we were working on this 2015 Yukon XL, and the wheels were just completely hammered. I didn't use this wheel cleaner at the time, but this isn't to say that this is going to work every single time. It is highly dependent on the type of wheel, the condition, how bad it is, how it's aged. So also keep that in mind. Don't think like I use this one product, it gave me great results, and this is the end all be all, like you have to have this one. So just as a fair warning, keep that in mind because you will face different wheels and challenges if you're doing this as a business or you're working on multiple vehicles. And not always this is going to be the proper choice, especially if you're working on a customer's vehicle and they're outside, or there's kids walking by, or there's like pets walking. Like, although it's a great product, like the smell of it is very harsh. And if a kid walks by, if a pet walks by, if an adult walks by, like they don't want to smell this harsh of a chemical when you're just detailing their vehicle on the street. So make sure they're not around. Make sure that there's no pets around. Make sure that you don't if it's blowing super hard, make sure there's no one that's gonna catch the byproduct of you spraying. So definitely keep that in mind. But so overall, the product did a great job. Would I use this every single time on a job site? No. For one, the cost of it, I need to check the price. But comparing it to something that you can dilute, like any APC, whether it's from Adams or Super Clean or Optimum, like a dilutable APC is just more economical friendly for a business than this. Again, depends on your situation, the type of business, mobile shop, and all that good jazz. But this is a great product. It's something that it's good to have in your arsenal. So it's definitely something that you want to look into. There's so many brands that do this now, but this definitely worked out on this very, very harsh wheel. Now I'll just go ahead and speed up the other side just so we can have a completed wheel. Okay, we've given this one enough time to turn purple, so we can still go ahead and start agitating. Just to change things up, look, I'm going to use the Easy Detail brush instead of the Adams provided wheel brush. I'm going to be using this Montana's Boar Hair brush, and I'm going to be using this Touch Shine Tire brush. And we'll see that they get similar results. Now with this one, I will get a lot more sling back to myself because of the bristles and how it's made up. So in terms of staying clean, the Adams brush or a Wheel Willy would do a better job than this. But in my opinion, it's faster and more effective with the Easy Detail brush or similar brushes. Now what I do like about the Montana's brush over the Adams brush is that it doesn't fling as much back to me, but on that same note, the brush from Adams actually is the bristles are more stiff, so it does do a better job in getting into the tight areas and actually agitating it, whereas this just kind of like lightly goes over some areas. So it still flings back at you, just not as much as the Adams brush. But yeah, so just a few little features here and there that are different. They're going to give you similar results. It just comes down to your preference. So let's see here that either way, we're going to get amazing results. And let's see if we can touch these areas here. And you have this wheel brush here. Is absolutely fantastic to getting behind the calipers, much better than, I mean, these you can manipulate and such, but over time if you manipulate it too much, you'll start to bend it and it'll eventually break. That's like my second set. So having a dedicated brush that's already at a 45-ish degree angle to get behind those spokes is a fantastic thing. So plus one for that brush as well. So let's go ahead and rinse it off. Clean the work area, and there we go. And that's gonna wrap up this video. So it's a great tool, great product, the brushes work great. Now the biggest thing with this one, and this is gonna go across all types of iron particle removers, whether it's wheel or paint, is the smell. Like you just can't always, although it's great, it does its job, but is that something that you need to pull out every single time when it comes to cleaning a wheel surface or the paint when there's kids around, when you're in a closed environment, when it's not well ventilated? I'm gonna go ahead and say no, because just the smell, and this is just across the board. Like I said, like you're gonna have that smell on mostly all types of iron removers, just because that's just how it is. But other than that, it's a great product. Check the links down below for the tools and products and the guides to start your detailing business. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, you want to troll on me, then just leave those in the comment section down below, and I guess I'll just see you on the next one.